Hey folks, it's Nate. Thanks for joining me once again as we look to the horizon. Not much to report on this week. It has been a pretty slow week. Um, I'm still waiting on news from the cover artist, and I'm plugging away at the projects. And I've pretty much been doing what I've been doing for the last couple of weeks: outlines, working on the body of the gospel according to Earth, and yeah, there's not a whole lot to report. That's these times come and go, and I think it's important to, if you are a writer, to embrace these moments of downtime. Uh, the really fun part for me, and I know for most of the other writers that I have talked to, most of the other storytellers that I've talked to, the fun part is that moment when you are taking all of the threads of a story, you are bringing them together, you are working out the really cool and exciting scenes, and kind of sketching out in your mind the stepstones that will connect them all together. And there's that rush and that high point of creativity, and then there's kind of a long tapering part of the process where you're filling in all of the gaps and you are refining those really excellent scenes that you love, and you're saying, okay, now um, I have my dominoes kind of lining all up, and then when you're finally done, you knock them all over, and you're like, okay, this is really cool. Um, and then after that comes the part where you realize that not all the dominoes fell over. Some of them got disconnected, and you have to go back and you have to set everything up again. That's the editing, the refining process, and that part can be like pulling teeth because things don't always line up like you want. Um, it's very hard to always be in that heady rush of initial creativity, uh, especially because eventually you're going to have all of your basic ideas nailed down. And you do need to do all of that long, slow tapering off kind of work to um, connect everything up, or you hit that moment where you realize everything doesn't work. And it's that long, slow incline, slowly downwards, that is, I think, the least appreciated part of the creative process. And yet, so very important because it gives you time to decompress a little bit, to think about what you're doing, to enjoy it, and to really prepare yourself for that coming flurry of editing that can be so difficult, and like pulling teeth, lining all those little bits and pieces of things up. It can be very hard uh, to. I mean, you can't eliminate that phase entirely. No one can. Um, but if you do that slow tapering off right, it's a moment to recharge between that heady moment of creation, which is great, but very creatively tiring, and that next part, which is also very creatively tiring and not as fun, of doing all your editing and refining and lining things up. That break in between them is an important moment to recharge creatively while still working on something, while still keeping the process going. And I've been trying to appreciate that more over the last couple of years because the more I have worked to edit and refine and really perfect manuscripts I'm working on, the more I have felt like, man, this is the hardest and um, most frustrating and least rewarding part of the creative process for me. I know there are people who really love it. I don't know. I don't know what's up with them. They're very strange. But it's not my favorite part of the creative process. So I think that right now, what is really important for me is to um, enjoy this kind of break in the storm where I'm just doing writing that I really like, um, and and take a breather and marshal my resources for the next really serious outlay of creative energy, which I know is not that far away. So that's what I'm doing this week, and there's not a whole lot to report, but I think this is an important time in the creative process because it lets you get ready for the next heavy lift. Anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments below. There's a like button and a subscribe button down there. You can use those as you see fit, and I will talk to you later.